You won't believe it. Her reckless personality led to the murder of her wife and daughter, and this topic is like a dagger to Patrick's heart. Her eyes quickly turned cold, as if she had just eaten a whole day's worth of ice cream. Patrick's eyes seemed to suck her in, making her feel like an astronaut. Under Patrick's pressure, she reveals Elizabeth's scheme, but only knew she went to Edward. Its purpose is a mystery. Doshing and Pay uninjured into Edward's mansion, hearing heavy breathing from the couch inside. A creepy cop drama. Let's go, stay calm. Doctor, are you okay? It felt like they were in a comedy hospital scene. Everyone acted like they just attended first aid training. After brought to the precinct, Edward was dazed. He swore he and Elizabeth were just friends, clueless about the lady in bed. That undercover agent excelled at Vision Corp, yet he didn't know she played with bombs at home. Doshian thought Elizabeth's date with him might aim to harm her. Like dealing with her brother Harrington, Edward couldn't fathom Elizabeth's involvement. Just for exposing Vision Corp as a scam. That's weak. Meanwhile, Elizabeth was being gently interrogated by Agent Ju. Agent Ju knew she had a best eye. According to Mrs. Harrington, Assistant Elizabeth was always around when her husband was killed. Not that simple. That bomb? Oh, she placed it in the cupboard following someone else's wild orders. The texts are the evidence, and there's no way Elizabeth is getting off the hook. Even knowing she'd be stuck in prison for 20 years, she wouldn't spill who made her set the bomb. Elizabeth immediately flipped into super nuts mode. After hearing this, Patrick was convinced she had been brainwashed by her friends. Only some cult company could pull off such a mind. Clearly, Vision Corp bossed her plant the bomb to silence Old By and hold exposure. But lacking direct evidence, the Bureau couldn't catch him. At this moment, Old By and Tara came for their little boy and flew into rage at sight of Edward. You jerk. Slept with the bomber who nearly killed us. Tara's face turned red with rage. Suddenly, Patrick had a brilliant idea. He quietly grabbed the confiscated phone from Elizabeth and sent Old By a cheeky threat text. Seeing this, Old By's heart went thud. Looks like Patrick's acting got the other side's attention. Angrily, you questioned the director why Elizabeth was caught, yet you still got her text. The director figured it could be due to her identity issue, and guess what? Her phone got hit. Completely unexpected. It might be her, but he cloned her number. At least it's clear now that Elizabeth's got a best eye out there. To keep Old By safe, the Bureau sent over extra hands, ready to give him a 24-hour bodyguard service. Patrick's scheme had a promising start. Now, they waited the quiet night, when Old By, restless, would confront Patrick. But then, Patrick seemed to hear a noise from the study, and everyone was on high alert, the tension rising 1,000-fold after Harrington's zero kill. Teresa ripped off the seal, entered the study, found Nada. It was like a failed treasure hunt. Just then, Patrick found a pink object under the table. Old By recognized it instantly as his granddaughter's toy. What a spy in hiding. But oddly, the sealed room had the toy inside. Patrick speculated Harrington's daughter hid under the table when he was killed. From the dealings these past few days, it seemed the girl really enjoyed playing hide and seek, which meant she witnessed the killer's stellar performance from start to finish. As they pondered, Old By's power was cut, turning it dark. The intercom buzzed with news that someone has broken into Old By's house, and CBA agents immediately went into high alert, like preparing for battle. They quickly arranged for Old By and his granddaughter to hide in a safe house, trapped by agents with Patrick. Follow him, Patrick left Old By alone with his granddaughter as planned. He always knew Old By killed his son, hoping Old By would slip up. He and others secretly staged the play, with hidden cameras in the safe house, awaiting Old By's confession. Earlier, Patrick lied, saying the girl was at the scene when Harrington was hurt. That line aroused Old By's suspicion. His gratitude for Teresa saving his granddaughter showed it. He doted on his granddaughter so much, to avoid leaving her with lifetime trauma from his murders, he started probing. Right when their plan seemed to gain traction, Mrs. Harrington burst in. She walked in, puzzled, and asked, "What's going on here?" Pay air dragged her out while explaining, and Teresa thought they needed to expedite the plan. "That was a game. When your dad died, it was a prank. I never thought it would go this way." "Put your hands on your head. Now, the FBI is arresting Old By. In such a hurry, I need to buy an umbrella." But things didn't end there. After discovering the truth, Mrs. Harrington was like a storm, furiously slapping Patrick across the face. Just then, the girl went over. Mrs. Harrington consoled her as Old By still refused to admit his mistake. His wife and younger son also arrived, and Old By warned them not to say a word. He knew the Bureau had no evidence at all. "Stop pretending, Old By. I already figured out you killed Harrington. Usually, when your wife has a daughter for you, I'd be over the moon, but why do you seem so uninterested? You even hesitate to touch your wife. Do you know your daughter isn't actually yours? Do you think Tara is having an affair with your elder son Harrington? But Harrington's biological father is him, in the end. You couldn't contain your anger and killed your son, but I think you just half-guessed this. You're right, Tara cheated with the son, but it was Edward, not Harrington." Edward stayed silent long after Patrick spoke, confirming Patrick's suspicions. He had already sensed something was off at the precinct. When Tara learned that Edward was hooking up with Elizabeth, she reacted with intense rage and just a sprinkle of jealousy. That was undoubtedly a sign of jealousy, and it took Edward a moment to realize that he was indeed the girl's biological father. It was the youngest son who cheated, yet killed the eldest, as Patrick said.